Hello, good evening. You're welcome back to this channel. Uh, we have been going on and on about nutrition and health. We have been looking at weight loss, and we have looked at several aspects of weight loss. Today, we are going into a different aspect. We are making a U-turn, and we are going to be looking at anemia today. Today, we are going to be looking at anemia. So, what is anemia? Now, anemia is any form of blood shortage. Any form of blood shortage. So, there are several types of anemia out there, and we are going to bring our attention down to just 6 types of anemia. You have the iron deficiency anemia, result of our body not absorbing iron or possibly no iron in our diet. Iron is one of the micronutrients responsible for the production of red blood cells. It is the key factor in red blood cell production. And like we have established, micronutrients have no storage within our body. And so, as we consume them, they are utilized, and those that are not used are sent out. And so, iron deficiency anemia is a common type of anemia that could affect individuals in our locality. The next type of anemia we have is folate deficiency anemia. Folate deficiency anemia. This folate deficiency anemia also occurs very commonly. It is anemia as a result of lack of folate within our system. It is also a micronutrient, and it is responsible for the production of red blood cells. And in the absence of folate, red blood cells will not be produced, and so you can suffer from folate deficiency anemia. The next is vitamin B12 deficiency anemia. Vitamin B12 deficiency anemia. Now, this results when vitamin B12 is absent. It could be as a result of not present in our diet, or you could have a disease like worms. There are certain types of worms that feed on vitamin B12 within our stomachs. And when those worms feed on vitamin B12, they result in anemia. Think about it. When last did you take a worm medication? It is actually recommended that adults should deworm themselves every 3 months. So, take note, we have vitamin B12 deficiency anemia, which is as a result of no vitamin B12 in your diet. You could be consuming a diet containing a lot of vitamin B12, but vitamin B12 is not available for your body to produce blood as a result of worms which are present in your stomach. The next type of anemia is hemolytic anemia. Hemolytic anemia. Now, this anemia comes as a result of the red blood cells being destroyed faster than your body can produce. Red blood cells being destroyed faster than your body can produce. It could be as a result of many things. It could be from diseases in other areas which lead to the destruction of red blood cells. It could be from normal breakdown of red blood cells, and your body is not having enough vitamin B12 or enough iron to produce red blood cells to meet up the demand. As we should all know, red blood cells are changed in our system every 120 days. So the red blood cells in your system changes every 120 days, whether you want it or not. So long as a red blood cell is produced, it will only last for 120 days in your system. And next, we also have anemia of chronic disease. Anemia of chronic disease. And this is anemia that results from when you have a certain disease that could disrupt the normal production of red blood cells. So, for example, if you have a kidney problem, or kidney failure, which results in the destruction in our kidney, we could have anemia as a result of that, because the kidney produces the hormone erythropoietin. The kidney produces the hormone erythropoietin, and the function of erythropoietin is to stimulate the bone marrow to produce new red blood cells. And so, in the absence of the kidney, our body will not be able to produce new red blood cells. Take note of that. And so, if you're having kidney damage or damage to your kidney to such an extent that it damages the erythropoietin production ability of your kidney, we are going to have shortage of blood. And the final one we are going to look at today is sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia. Now let's take note of this particular one, because sickle cell is a disease that comes as a result of human beings who are genotypically AS getting married to another person who is genotypically AS. And because they are both genotypically AS, they have a 25% chance of giving birth to a child who is SS. And this SS is what we refer to as sickle cell or sickle cell anemia. Please, let us take note of this sickle cell. It is a very, very critical aspect of our evolution. Now, this sickle cell is a disease that comes as a result of our body lacking a particular amino acid that leads to the production of normal red blood cells. And this amino acid that is absent from the chain of red blood cell causes the red blood cell to have a sickle shape. And this sickle shape prevents them from being able to transport oxygen to certain areas of our body. And so you will notice that people with sickle cell anemia, they will not be able to take on serious activities without losing their breath. And so please, let's take note of this one. Sickle cell anemia comes as a result of getting married to somebody with AS when you are AS. So if you take your genotype today in the hospitals in Cameroon, they call it electrophoresis. If you do your electrophoresis and you discover that you are AS, you should ensure that any lady you are getting married to should be AA. Any lady you want to get married to should be AA. Take note of that. If not, the possibility of you getting a child which is sickle cell is very high. And on another note, so when we say that the possibility is 25%, doesn't mean that one of your 4 children would be sickle cell. You could give birth to all your 4 children and all of them are sickle cell, as well as you could give birth to your 4 children and none of them has sickle cell. So think about it properly. Are you willing to take the risk of giving birth to a child that you are going to be taken to the hospital all through his life? So take note of that. So we have discussed a lot about this anemia. Now, what are some of the foods that we can consume, at least to help us combat the most common types of anemia that are out there, like the vitamin B deficiency anemia? What are some of the foods that we can eat to give us this vitamin B that we need in order to prevent us from having anemia? You have meat, you have fish, you have dairy products. Dairy products are cow products like milk, like butter. And so when you eat these products, including eggs, they can help you get vitamin B. And then you also have leafy greens. Leafy greens, you have spinach. You also have legumes like beans. And then you also have nuts and seeds, your groundnuts, and so on and so forth. So when you get these foods, they are always rich in vitamin B, and vitamin B will help you get your red blood cells in place and prevent you from developing anemia. And finally, the foods that contain iron to prevent you from getting iron deficiency anemia. Our meat also contains iron. Our poultry, chicken also contains iron. You have seafood, you have shrimp, crayfish, fresh ones. I mean, they also contain uh, enough iron to prevent you from developing iron deficiency anemia. Now coming down to plant variety, you have your beans. Your beans will prevent you from getting anemia. You have your nuts and seeds. You have your dark green vegetables, and this will prevent you from getting anemia. Now, all in all, if you look at it, you see that when it comes to anemia, some of the foods that we eat actually contains these vegetables that will prevent us from getting this anemia. So let us take this into consideration. And then secondly, one other thing that I want us to look at is, how do you prepare these foods? How do you prepare the different foods before you eat? So we talked about the vitamins and the minerals in our last video. One thing I did not mention in the last video is, how do you prepare these meals in order to get those vitamins and minerals? There are different ways of cooking: boiling, roasting, frying, and so on. These are different methods of cooking, and each method is unique to the kind of vitamins you intend to get from the food. So you should have at the back of your mind that our vitamins and minerals are usually divided into water soluble and fat soluble. Water soluble and fat soluble. And the water soluble vitamins are, you have here your vitamin B, your vitamin C, they are water soluble. And then you have vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K as fat soluble. Take note of that. Vitamin B, vitamin C, they are water soluble. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K, they are fat soluble. Water soluble, fat soluble means they can dissolve in water component. Water soluble means they dissolve in water component, while fat soluble means they dissolve in fatty component. Now, on that, when we look at the vitamin B and vitamin C, you see that any food that is prepared by boiling tends to destroy our water soluble vitamins, because the vitamins dissolve in the water and then get destroyed by the boiling water that we have there. And so in order for us to take advantage of our vitamins and minerals, we should learn how to prepare them correctly. Take note of that. We should learn how to prepare them correctly. So some foods that we eat, we shouldn't prepare them by boiling. We can prepare them by simmering. That's another method of cooking. We can prepare them by heating, using the steam. That's the vapor that is coming out from boiling water. You can use the vapor to cook certain food items like vegetables. And cooking these vegetables in this manner help to preserve the greens that are inside, thereby preserving some of those vitamins that we need to consume in order for us to get the nutrients that we need. So take note of that. So it was nice having you today. We'll be making another video come next week. Like, comment, leave a comment on what we are going to talk about next, and you share the video. Thank you.